8 to 11, and there's 5 or 6 of them already. They're running their own businesses.
No, they're proper. Lila's proper. Lila's proper.
Patented businesses, patented products. You know what? I said to them like, okay, let's talk about you being cute. You know what cute means? Money. First thing I talk to them about is you sign your parents to a contract so they don't rob you. Conversation number 1. Like, so that your parents will get a percentage, we could set out the framework of how that looks. Secondly, I said, you talk to your friends non-stop. They're your network, they're your money. You build your Facebook presence. Learn to cook for under $5. I got kids doing all sorts. My daughter used to do, when she was at school in the US, she used to buy underwear from China and basically sell it through the internet. She was making at 14 or 15, something like about $40,000 a year, and sold the business on.
I love the way that you simplify it though. Like just
It is simple.
It is simple. I've actually put you down already as a session on one of the terms. Without even asking you. It's like term 5, we're talking about economics for the whole term. And digital currency and stuff.
I've learned a lot today already.
Brilliant.
It's
Do
called
you know more under 16s do day trading than older people? More under 16s do day trading. They're making money left, right, and centre. And one of them, I was at Lila one time just to pick up some paperwork, and one of them said to me, "Excuse me, Miss Rowe, what would you put your money on?" And I said, "Actually, seriously, the Russian ruble." And they were like, "You're like." I said, "Remember, Russia's selling a ton of oil to everybody else, China, this, that, and the other." And he was like, yeah. So I said to him, you can set up this account, that account, feeder accounts, backspace the money to yourself. This kid was he was what, 13? Do you know, he made a stack load of money on the rubles. And I've had to get him my international tax lawyer to circumvent the money and to play around with the money. But the kids under 16 are the money, they're feeding in the money making. And you see, it don't matter if you've got a criminal record, it don't matter what you've done in the past. It's completely whack. You don't have to have a DBS, you ain't messing with nobody. You are doing this all online. Gamers, and you know what? Black kids. I was at Google, I was up at Google in King's Cross. I actually was at another event for Mentivity, and then I wandered on into Google, you know, and I have that way, I'm like, excuse me, just a little look around. So they actually showed me like the ideas of innovation floor. There was only 4 people there that was Indian or white, everybody else black, young and black. East London, South London, West London, even at the bush in places that I didn't even know of. Like, it's black kids that are ruling the roost, and it's that generation, because on the net, nobody ain't judging you. Nobody knows where your history's from, nobody knows what you, but it's so easy to start it off. And what's worse, you spend a lot of time Instaing people, you're making them rich, God bless you. You want to sort of find piece of the pie, and you see like a little 4-year-old, or whatever age group your child is, okay, you look at little Miss Cute Civility, who's all kind of cute and gorgeous. What do you like doing?
Finding their gift. That's what I'm good at.
What are you good at? What are you good at? What blows your hair back and floats your boat? Suddenly, that becomes a business. You know, you got to think of your children not just as your little love bunny, but they're an asset. Because white people look at us and our labour and all the things they steal from us as an asset. You have to start thinking of your children. And for all of you with these crazy ass relationships with the mothers, you have to sit down and negotiate with them. You go to women like her, she negotiates. I spent a lot of time, I know a young black man who set up his service specifically to navigate getting access to their children through all the madness. But you have to see past what the insecurities are. And I'll say something else as well. I lived away from here for 20 years. So when I came back, I had a look around and it was literally, what the fuck? It was mad looking at it, because especially my first son, he was a cool one. You know, like his clothes, like his trainers got jacked on a regular basis when he was younger. But he used to run a little gardening service up and down the road because everyone had a big garden. Because the first time I gave him allowance money and he went and bought 1 pair of trainers with the whole month's allowance, I was like, okay, cool, babes. But you go and walk the 7 miles to school back and forth every day with trainers on. That was the first and last time he did it. But did it take away his desire for nice things? No. He just learned that I can't legally go to work, but I can cut people's grass, I can do their weeding. I realised one day when I said to him, oh shit, I'm really breakfast, I just want to lend you some money, mum. Now he was what, 15, 16 at this point. He started doing it at 11. He was 15, 16. And then I said to him, I need a couple of grand. So I wanted to buy a house, but I'd already maxed out my finances. And them days you could buy a house on a credit card. It was good. And so he said to me, I've got 18 grand if you need to borrow. You're selling stuff, are you doing stuff? I didn't realise that little bugger was making that much money on his gardening, because it was a case of now he'd recruited some school friends, so he had workers.
18 grand.
18,000.
15. That is from 11 to 15, right? From 11 to 15.
Yeah. 11 to 15, he made 18 grand. And he's
Discipline, boy.
And he was a saver. So you see, when I see that he got like a fancy pair of trainers, especially I don't know, many shoes over 60 quid. Right? But when I see he got trainers on his foot and stuff, I can't say a word. Because he worked.
Yeah.
He worked for it. And that's the reason why I made him work, so that he didn't have to keep tapping me up. Because I'm not buying nobody trainers, them breed of money. Right? And it's not, hey, I just don't. It's like it's against my religion. I'd rather pay the tutor. So all I'm simply saying is that.
But do you think it's because of his like family surroundings that influenced him? Because you know, like for us, like mum was the only influence, and you know, and other than that, it was my friends. Everyone was buying that. I could have been like your son at that age, because I remember paper rounds and etc. We were doing some crazy stuff.
You weren't making
No, we could have. But then our mind, it was like tracksuit, £100 tracksuits. We would just be spending money on tracksuit because every day we had to look good.
Yeah.
Because our friends were doing the same thing. It wasn't like our older cousin, they weren't dad in my life. There wasn't, you know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's just your surroundings influence the kid a little bit more. So even if he done that, he might have had like for example you around that was always about that, you know, and then he kind of like he must have this peak game from earlier.
I remember what I think like.
That's probably since we're still doing introduction.
No.
We're not done introduction. We got around, you know. We started again.
I'll give you one word of advice. If you want to, you see, like you guys, you've all got each other, and you bounce off of one another. You understand the journey, right? So when you look at your children, you've got to decide with your children, where is their peer group going to be? So if, say for instance, Lila's a good example. If you've got one environment of all progressive children, those are your children's friends.
Yeah.
Their parents is your network.
Exactly.
Can you pick your kids' friends?
Yes, you can.
My mom couldn't pick their friends.
No. When you got to an age, she could. No. Like I said, right, I'm a tiger, no joke mother.
Yeah.
Right. And what's worse, I didn't beat my children, but I spent a lot of time educating them, culture, dreams, aspirations, showing them where they need to be. Do you know what I mean?
But then I think it's a hard one, because like I can't say, because I don't know if my parents made a concerted effort to choose my friends. Whereas I think if maybe because I see what you're saying, like my mom. Yeah, but I'm the same. Like I think that, but then I think maybe if they made a concerted effort.
My mom tried. My mom went as far as to go to my friends' houses and say to their parents they shouldn't let their friends over.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean if they said, alright, cool. You see, from young, we're gonna put you in a program, where we know these children are all progressive and their parents have progressive mindsets. I'm talking from young. Not get to a certain age. Because say like me, like same thing. My mom will be like, stop hanging around with him. And then like I know, I'm the influence.
I guess it depends on that. You have to have the money to go to school in an area where you get me.
Not even.
No, but I'm saying if
Well, then initiatives have to exist.
I'm saying if your friends, because what I think is if you're in a certain school. Like, and your parents, because you can go two ways, your parents trying to choose your friends. You get me? If your parents don't have a certain balance when trying to choose your friends, it's only going to make you do, there's certain of us that respond to being controlled of things in a way that's rebellious. Do you know what I'm saying? So you trying to force that, for example, try to force a youth down one path, then they might just do the opposite.
It's how you do it.
It's the entire
It's how you do it.
You
So
gotta guide them.
We ain't discussing this today.
but no, this ties in. This ties in.
Okay.
It does tie in.
Let's tie it in.
So from my upbringing, and this is what I've instilled in young people that I come across, is to have a sense of wonder of the world, like what is out there. There's more than SE6, SE12. There's more to the world than that. And I was fortunate enough. So even though I grew up in a single parent home, my mum's an air hostess. So I was fortunate enough to get cheap travel for many years. So I've seen the world. And people obviously people oh, you're privileged. It's like, no, I'm coming from a single parent home, my mum working 10 jobs, raising siblings, all of that stuff. But that benefit that I had in my life showed me that there's more to see. Do you know what I mean? So it opened my eyes, but it also meant that I was able to navigate through this British system and use it to my advantage. So by having that sense of wonder, I'm like, okay, I want to, when I was 18, I was like, I don't want to spend another summer holiday with my friends running up and down Lewisham. I don't want to do that. I want an adventure. So I started researching and I found Camp America. What's Camp America?
My friends
I was like, wow, I can work in America and just disappear. I don't have to look after my siblings. I can just go. I was like, freedom.
What age was that?
18. So, but our young people don't know
How was your household? Cause the thing is, I think everyone's got different.
I had the same experience.
I reckon that's very important.
My older sister was like really good. She got to go Camp America. I was the total opposite. So
I
got to like 16 and I was like, oh, I want to go Camp America. My mom was like, yo, I'm mad.
No,
so when I finished college,
there's funding you can get as well.
Do you know by McDonald's there was Lewisham Young Leaders, something that was run by Maria who passed a few years ago. Do you remember what it was called?
We're talking about Baseline.
No, next to the Salvation Army.
The old Salvation Army, not the one where it is now.
Where on the McDonald's, anyway, there was like a little hub there. A leadership program for young people. So I was doing that after.
That was Baseline, right? That was where Baseline was run.
Lewisham. I can't remember.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
So they were doing like first aid training, counselling training, just different stuff for young people to develop skills. So I'm like, okay, let me build up my CV and do these things. And then I learned about Camp America, so I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I can get off ends for like a whole 9 weeks and work in America and meet new people. So I had that adventurous spirit within me, and then it gave me tools to then share with other young people. Did you know you can do this as well? And they're like, what? What's Camp America? When I was donating.
I actually go one step further. The borough of Lewisham will even teach you how to play golf. There's so much programs. But you know what it is? When the programs break loose, the white people bang. They got a network. They grab the whole lot first. So what I did, I went straight to the head of educational director, Panaki, and I said to him, no, you email me first. You send it to me first, because if not, I will blow up the community and tell them that they're not having opportunities. This summer, kids will go yachting, golfing, sailing, waterboarding, black children. And
you know, it's funny you say that. So when I was teaching, I was head of year and I was organising like careers fairs for my school. So I'm bringing in Lewisham College, Bromley College, all of these different apprenticeship schemes for our young people. My school was connected to COFS. Do you know about COFS? Private school? Yeah. They invited us to their careers fair, and the stalls they had were top universities, Lamborghini, Porsche, all these big brands. So I'm like, well, these are the opportunities these kids are getting. 10 minutes down the road, our kids are getting Lewisham College. Do you know what I mean? Connections. Now that's the issue. Our kids are not exposed to what's going on in the world.
I think there's another story as well, because a lot of the youths that I ever came up with, or the youths that I had beef with, they came from orphanages, they had crackhead mums. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a whole demographic of children that are dealing with a whole different reality than your son came up in. So I feel like we need to get to the root of those issues and have some form of community hub that's able to help them.
It's that middle ground. It's the connecting that bridge.
I actually work with several gangs. I work with
I was part of a gang. I can say that. I went Glazebury, so I went yachting. I done all of these things, but when I come back to the ends, man is still trying to rob my brethren.
Hang on, I was saying, this is the problem.
And no, what I'm saying is, you see, like us as black youths, what I think the society doesn't understand is this is my brother. So if we go outside right now and someone tries to harm him, I don't even have a choice.
Yeah, but to defend.
What's in my body is going to defend my brother. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, the issue is there's a whole bunch of youths that are in a situation where they're dealing with conflicts with each other, and there's no elder men, and even the ones with, like, within the system, like, they're kind of estranged from them, so they're kind of on their own, and there's no one that's able to show them, like what he said, about how to solve problems, how to resolve conflicts.
There's good mentoring, and okay, the other half of what I do is the London Black Parent Forum. So you as a parent, right, I will send you details of where mentoring is, where this is, where that is, how you can tap into this, how you can tap into that. You guys are the baseline mentors for your children. If you have that commitment to your children, and I'm going to be real honest, it's that age 4 up to that age 11, then you have got to get on the tap down. You've got to get them on the tap down. So if you've got children in that age group, you've got to straighten up your head, straighten up your back, and really get on it. And you got to get on it quick. But you have to be brave enough to say, I'm your dad, but I don't pretend that I know everything. I'm going to get you a mentor which can help to take you to the next level, because they have a different understanding of where they're going.
I'm a dad too, single dad, innit? Like, I am not worried about my children. Like, I feel like I'm so, like, even Steve Bezos or one of them guys, like, his daughter wants to change her name because so he's a millionaire, but her daughter wants to change his name because she doesn't want nothing to do with him. So all the money you've got can't solve those issues. With me and my daughters, our relationship is like this. I've got no worries about my daughters, but I do know that next door there's a family that doesn't have a father like me, and I'm worried about his daughters.
How
do you know
old
what
is
I'm
your
saying?
daughters?
My daughters are 8 and 10.
Okay, you should be worried, babes. You've got the next 3 years before they start broken.
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. Trust me, I've got a good family structure.
And you know what? This is where you fall down.
Yeah.
My older son, Mr. I'm walking up and down. My son had 1 foot in potential corporate, 1 foot on the street. Now, when he was born bad, he was bad from birth. So by the time he's 2 or 3, I actually took him back to Dulwich Hospital and said, did you mix them up? Because he was so troublesome. And when I saw he was going off the racks, I took him to Jamaica for a year. And I put him in Red Hills Preparatory School. And I remember he refused to learn. He refused to get past letters A and B. And I put him in Red Hills Preps. And he came home the first day after school in his little brown khaki trousers and his little top, and he said, Mum, they beat the children. And I went, amen to that. And I was sitting on the veranda, and he goes, they're not going to beat me. Now, he went from refusing to learn. We was out there 1 year, and I was able to get him to sit entry test to get into Dulwich Church of England School, which was it's a state school, but you have to do a bloody entry test at age 5. So when I came back with him, he was 6 and he passed with 92%. It's not that our children refuse to learn. It's just that if the right setting isn't there, and you're correct, the influences around him. The first time I heard his best friend tell him at 13, well, I've got to go and get you some weed. We can start selling weed, you're going to make money. Forget about this gardening stuff. I said, cool. As his friend was leaving, after you just ate my dinner, I said, T, this is how we're going to do it. You're going to go home and tell your parents why you're not welcome in my house anymore. How you mean, Mrs. R? And I said, you can't come into my home and then try and get my child to be a seller. Because you're Greek, he's black. He's the one that will be sitting in prison, but you've also got a responsibility from they're this big to start educate them about being black and being themselves. But the most important thing is that you have to now start elevating their thought pattern. Do you think it was easy? No, he tested. I got a head full of grey hair under this. Don't before. This kid tested every ounce of fortitude. But one of the things that I learned watching him was that what is the thing that you like the most, Jason, who by the way turned out to have a photogenic memory, who didn't really, school didn't bother his ass. He was forever in trouble. He lived to be in trouble. I was at that school every week. Mrs. Ronnie Jason, sorry, I'm coming. I'm coming. It was non-stop. smart as a whip. And I find the same thing with a lot of these children you see on road, in gangs, bloody smart self
Scientists.
Is that what you were saying? Everyone's good at something.
Can I just get a show of hands? Yeah, about this question.
Alright, let me.
Can you be proud? Just a show of hands. Just say yes or no. Like, I don't even want just. Can you be proud to be British and be proud of your heritage?
No.
And it's so. Can you be proud? Can you be proud to be British?
I'm
And proud
gonna
of your
expound on
heritage?
that still.
So yes. If you, who thinks yes? 2 people.
I don't know.
I'm on the fence.
I need to justify.
I'm not. In fact, I'm not even allowed on the fence. Yes or no? I'm not even allowed on the
I have
fence.
to justify.
Can you be proud to be British and proud to be
Can I
proud of your
justify my
heritage?
answer?
Can a Jewish person be proud of if like the Nazis won the World War, would Jewish people be proudly say they're Nazis?
Listen.
You
I'm gonna justify my answer.
Go on.
I'm German.
No, because obviously the empire that colonized Jewish people were Nazis. The
Wait,
empire that
I'll make you
colonized
stick a pin just for a second.
Alright, go on.
Six, go on.
You ready?
I'm ready.
My British passport gets me into places that my British passport wouldn't necessarily get me into. So when I'm in certain parts of the world and in certain environments, being British, not necessarily proud, but having this as a privilege has given me access to or allowed me to do what I do today in order to give back to my people. So it's taken advantage of that. It's not necessarily being proud of it. Like I don't go back home, I don't go to Africa saying I'm proud to be British, but it gives me.
But ain't that my question though? Isn't the question?
I'm not proud.
It's
It's not a pride thing.
Then
But
you're saying no then, like us.
Yeah.
No, but there is a proud
it's
pride
not
in
pride.
that.
It's
No,
not.
in
it's
the
not-
second
but I'm trying to-
No, hold on. But there is a pride in
There's a
that.
pride.
There is a pride in
Like
that.
it's like valuing the opportunities that we have in this system and taking advantage of those opportunities. Does
Well,
that
I
make
think
sense?
Can we just hear from the minority vote
Wait.
before we have any
I hope that
rebuttal?
makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Can I hear from you as well, bro? Before we get the rebuttals, I just want to hear from your
Cool.
side.
Mine isn't as much. I'm proud to be British. I'm proud to be black. It's more so proud to be black British in the sense of if I was black in Africa, like I wouldn't be necessarily proud to be black. I'll just be.
You just be African.
Whatever tribe I'm from, innit? You know what I'm saying? But
You
being
would be proud to be black.
No, but you're not. But you don't.
I think I would not.
Blackness isn't discussed in that respect.
Yeah.
As
I
in,
think I would.
It's normal.
it's the norm. I get what you're
There's a
saying.
pride.
I get what
Yeah,
you're
what's
saying.
the pride?
I think the issue.
Wait, go on, I'll finish. Just
I
finish.
get what you're saying. Still,
I don't want to see that because it's
Yeah,
you will add a difference.
Hold on. Let's just get one. Let me just.
Yeah.
I'm an African.
Hold on, let me just
We're
get.
African here because we
But hold on.
Alright,
We're talking for Joe. He can talk for himself.
Yeah.
Obviously, being black British, like, it's more, obviously I'm from London, and I've never lived outside of London, so I'm happy a black Londoner, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, what comes with it, I don't know, going to school, subtle racism, like, realising how racist the country really is, adapting to that, clocking the setups and just adapting to that as well, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, by the grace of God, I don't have no criminal record or nothing like that, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, even that, to me, being black Brit, it's all part of it, you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm proud that I'm the way I am, I'm being black British, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro.
Actually, well done. It took me until I was 23 to accept that.
Cool. Show of hands because I don't even know who to go to first. You said that, so I'm going from you, bro, because I've not heard you say much.
Yeah, there's an issue with the word proud.
Yeah.
So
Which
proud-
one? This one or this one?
Both.
Okay.
Because can I just say one thing?
Let everyone finish. Let everyone
I
finish.
think that's the word because what it is, when you say proud, like when I first learned how to play drums, I did that. I was proud of it. But to be British and to be black, you had no choice. So you can't be proud. You just accept. This is what I'm called. This is the box they put me in. That's an acceptance. But the proud thing, I'm not sure. It's a bit vague.
I'm definitely proud to be Jamaican. You know what I'm saying?
Even what are we
Did you
though?
have a choice though?
No, but I'm definitely proud, like, regardless of how
That's interesting you said. I want to come back to that.
I want to come back to that.
Interesting.
Easy.
Nah, they
Go
got
on.
Nah, wait.
Yeah, sure. Go on, bro.
I can accept the opportunity that being British has provided me, but for the fact that they don't even want me here,
It's the history.
and the history, yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to anyway. I don't want to be proud of a land that don't want me. I don't want to be proud of a land that calls me names and I have to fight for everything I do. You know what I mean? I can't be, you know what I mean? So it's something that being proud to me, what makes me proud is something that I'm proud to be black because I know I'm black. I have no choice of being black, but I can walk up strong because I'm black. So that's what makes me proud for being black. I know what my history is and what we've gone through, and the reason why I'm standing there and fighting for the cause. That's what makes me proud. So that's my understanding of how I put my pride in the blackness and not being proud for being British.
Cool. With that being said, my bro, like, let's say, like, I'm Jamaican, innit? Where are you from, my brother?
My mum's Bajan and my dad's Jamaican, yeah.
Do you see in your country, in Barbados, do you have like a lot of Asians in that?
Do you have a lot of Asians?
Yeah, coming in that.
I haven't scoped the land, only been to that land once.
Trinidad and Tobago is quite a big.
So
I won't say a lot, but yeah.
Like, my perspective is this, innit? Like, Britain, I don't see it as the white man's country, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, man's a black man, man's the first one on the earth, so therefore, especially if I know thousands of years before white man existed, we've been here, you know what I'm trying to say? So how I feel about it is, anywhere I step on the earth, like, that's where I'm from, innit, you know what I'm trying to say? And I don't see where, okay, because white people are the majority here, or they're ruling the land here, and they don't want man here, that shouldn't mean anything. If the Japanese or Chinese were to take over in Jamaica and now have some sort of power there, and now want to kick us out, am I going to not be proud to be Jamaican anymore? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but with what you said about black man being in the first here, with being in the land of everywhere, yeah, you might find, but when we deal with genetics, our origin is in Africa. So when we come to do with European and Asiatics, they have a blueprint, which is haplogroup that divides in those areas there. So I would allow them that because for one, you have different species. If you want to do with genetics, you have different species on the earth at one time. Right. So I will give the European and Asiatic those lands because they come up out of their species, all the phenotypes, the genetics, variations and everything, even more, you know what I mean? They derived, and that's the reason why they look so different to us. So I'll say I agree with what you're saying, but I'll say let them keep that.
Let them have it.
Let them have that, because we don't want that, we don't need that.
But
we don't need that.
when you go there, what do we want?
We gotta keep one voice. We gotta keep one voice.
What do we want? Like how? Like I've been to different parts of Africa and the Caribbean, and it's been beautiful. It's been an amazing experience. But I've always left feeling like I don't necessarily belong here because I'm not 100%. I'm a foreigner.
Can I throw a spanner in there?
Can I quickly?
But before, I want to actually ask you something. I want to throw a spanner.
Can I go after Rush?
Yeah. I just want to throw a spanner in the works. You said you're proud to be Jamaican, yeah? And Jamaica is a British colony.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Britain in a sense that not the land specifically. That's how I've read the question. We're talking about Britain as an empire. That's how I've read the question. That's why I'm a little bit on the fence. Because I get your point with we're indigenous to the entire earth, and that's the place I was going to come from as well. But then I think actually Britain is
it's a political empire.
Empire.
Yeah, it's a political.
So is Jamaica. So
yeah,
can you be proud to be Jamaican as well then?
No, that's why I say Rasta.
Alright, so let me you answer now. I just wanted to throw that spanner in there before you answer.
So basically, living in Jamaica, one of the things I clocked very fast is that you have Jamaican, which is very much a colony, and obviously the Windrush people came over to be a part of the British colony. Yeah, so that's colonialism, so that's colonizer. So basically what we're saying is we're willing to bow down to the colonizer. You man won. It was a war, and we're basically saying you man won, we'll take your name. So my question to a lot of people in the beginning was if you found out that your father did rape your mother and you was born out of that come together, would you still want to wear your father's name? Do you know what I'm saying? So if we wouldn't want to wear our father's name if he was a rapist, why would we want to wear the name of the biggest raper and colonizer, bigger than the Nazis? The Nazis have got nothing on the British Empire. They colonized Australia, they sent people to America, they took over, they helped the South Africa, Israel, like the British Empire was, they chopped up India and Pakistan, so they was not even just us, it wasn't even just us, you get me? Them man done it, like the British Empire done a mad thing.
But it's still your father.
In order for...
just to add that caveat.
Let him land.
No, obviously my father, but I'm definitely gonna...
Not to say Britain is, but just your analogy, innit?
No, I'm saying, but even my dad, if I found out that from my mum, when I see my dad, it's on site. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say, Dad, I understand why he done that to mum.
But he's still your father.
And that comes back to the British passport. That comes back to the passport. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is that everyone should have the same access all over the world. So we've got some special thing, but we have to remember we're 3% of this country. So even though we've got this special thing, I understand that that's really for 97%. Yeah, and we just happen to be benefactors outside of it. So really and truly, that's a human right. It's a human. The fact that other people haven't got it isn't really a privilege from these man. It's really a human right that they're taken away from our brothers in other places. Why when we go to other places, people kind of look at us like foreigners because they kind of see us as with the privilege. You know,
when they don't see our struggle.
When they talk about white privilege, we have a piece of that white privilege, and we also have the dichotomy of someone who's mixed heritage.
And it divides.
So within our community, we've got black people that will be like, yo, black people just need to deal with themselves. And then you have black people that have grown with white people that are real and loving, and they're like, yeah, we understand that we need to build for black, but we don't necessarily have to be have animosity towards other races. And then that dichotomy plays out within our community, because when we come together, that's one of the biggest divisions. Should we integrate fully or should we completely segregate? Do you know what I'm saying? So me, I think, like, but at the same time, I'm proud to be like from London. So it's weird because like I know the roads, I know where to go. My brethrens are here, when I lived in Jamaica. So like, so I understand people that have a pride in British, but I don't think they got a pride in being British. I think it's more about where they actually come from within Britain and not the British colony. You get me? And then with the black thing, a lot of black people don't even class themselves as black because black is a social construct. The black is something that we've only been calling ourselves from recent, and it was slave masters that created the white and black analogy. No one's white, no one's black. Do you know what I'm saying? We are all come from different places and have different heritages. So I feel like they call ourselves black.
The land of the black though.
Yeah. They call it, they call it the land of blacks, but I'm saying that when we call ourselves black, there's no land that it attaches us to.
Of course.
Do you get me? Whereas the white people, if you clock them, or the Asians, all of them talk about a continent. None of them say yellow, red, white. They won't call themselves that. I'm European, I'm France, I'm English, because they're talking, they're attaching a piece of land to their identity, and there's no piece of land attached to just black. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I think a lot of Ethiopians or East Africans, people say, they don't consider themselves as black, but we have to understand from their angle that they didn't have that concept as a social construct. So it's not that they see themselves as different from us, but black was something that was very much enforced of us as a result of slavery, colonization. You know what I'm saying?
What's the future look like?
Hold on, you had a point, bro. That you
I wanna, cause I had a wait.
No, it was Chris and Susan.
Yeah, because I had a point that I was gonna say, but I wanna. He opened up a portal back then, so I gotta just. Cool. I gotta share this with everyone in this room. Yeah, this is something that came to me, like I'd say within the last year or so, but it's something that I make a habit of saying to black people if they can grasp what I'm about to say, because it's very, 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 very powerful if you understand and grasp what I'm about to say to you. But when you look at things in general, when you look at colours, like for example, this is like red, yeah, or like take this red, that's red as well, but it's a lighter version, yeah. But the darker a colour is, the more depth it has.
More dominant.
Do you get what I'm saying? So even when we look at art, I remember in art, they teach us all the colours amalgamated together is black. And that's where all colours stem from. But then it's like, that's when you don't have that right understanding, yeah, you start to see why a lot of things are out of place and out of whack in reality, because you'll go in the dictionary, look at all the
the connotations associated with the word black, negative, evil, bad, and then people start to subconsciously think that about themselves. And then when you go look at white and the meaning of those words, it's all positive, purity.
But what that is, just to kind of on a higher level, that's psychosis. That's what the system has done to us. So they've taken our magic and flipped it on its head, taken it for themselves, used it, implemented it, and then given us nonsense so that we're confused. We don't know what's going on. So it's just hearing the words witch, voodoo, all of them things. We're scared of it. It's demonized. But actually, that's our magic.
Science.
But what I wanted to touch on is, what I've started to see is like, cool. You look at the word black and the pronunciation of the word. Look at the word blanco in Spanish. That means white. Look at the word blanche in French. That means white. Look at the word black, which is the same kind of spelling. But it means. Do you see how they flipped it?
I'm gonna recommend a book. I'll write it on here.
You see what I'm saying?
Oxford Book of Etymology speaks a lot, like, it's a dictionary.
I'm glad that you lot grasped that. That's made, you know what I'm saying? Because I said that to a couple people and they don't get it, bro.
The universe, the source is blackness, isn't it?
Yeah, but we got deep here. Meditate on black.
I grew up, obviously, I'm a lot older than you guys, so I grew up saying I was Jamaican. Then I went to Jamaica and they said, hell no. Then I came back to England disappointed with the solution because they didn't want me here either. And I spent a lot of my teens and early 20s trying to look for an identity. And then I decided to stop. I decided to stop with all of it. And I just decided that as an individual, I would make my mark in the world. And I think that it's really difficult because having done the genetic mapping of my genes and stuff, it just looks like a petri dish, mate. It's like everybody is dip.
Was it overwhelming?
Yeah, no wonder my head ain't right. It's just dip. We got everything up in there. And so I've had to really, as I've got older and especially moving through life, I have to stop thinking about myself as a colour. Do I understand the racism because of the colour of my skin? Oh hell yeah, and then some. But I have to rise above that and understand that I am made in the image of the Creator. There is Alpha and Omega. It begins with us and it ends with us. We are the first living being. It doesn't matter where you're dispersed on the planet. That is it. In terms of a label as a cultural passport and identity and location, I take it. Am I proud of it? Not for its historical narrative and continuing narrative. But one thing I have learned about being black and British is the confusion that comes with it. So you have to take it for what it is because geographically that's where you are. But just understand that you are the world. And you know the one thing about black people that's interesting? And one of the most important experiences I've ever had in my life, I went into the Vatican Library. Wow. The Vatican Library tells us about us.
Yes, I've heard.
My God, when I came out of there, hung to the wall, I was bawling my eyes out.
What did you read?
Who we are and what we are is so powerful. And weirdly enough, white man spends all their time studying us and then hiding us from our own experience. You are so deep, and I say this with black man, and I'm specifically target black men. Black women have their own journey, but black men, you see, when society crushes you, they crush us, they crush our multiple generations, they crush our dreams and aspirations. In you is the living God. You are the most important entity and being on the planet. You will be the ones that will save the world because you are part animal, you are part organic, you are the soil, you are everything. And white man knows it, and in the Vatican, it tells us our power. It tells us our history from Ethiopia. It tells us that's what the crusade was about. It was about gathering information from all over the world. And then when you put a nation on the level that you do from slavery, the first thing you do is separate them from their memories and their experiences. So when you go out and you feel things,
it explains the envy as well.
When you go out and you feel from, you know, like sometimes I listen to young black men, you know, that's deep, right? That really, really deep. Sometimes I wish I was really that deep. But you know, like when I listen to you, I have that respect because what you're feeling is the stirring of the God. You are little gods.
Even if can't forget about the women. I'm thinking we're going to do
No.
Duality.
No, there's a reason.
Duality.
There's a reason. I'm not disrespecting the woman. I'm a powerful black bitch. I'm the first person to say it. But let me tell you something, right? Where I stand today is because of my father. The mother went.
Yeah, the man then put the women on their shoulders.
Wait a minute. And it's important because the first love affair any young woman will have will be with her father. Not in a sexual type of way. But it's that healthy, what does a loving relationship look like? So if you're not right, she ain't gonna be right. A woman will then bring the next generation, which won't be right because the foundation hasn't been right. So you then get mothers that are trying to constantly recorrect what is not right with their own understanding and knowledge, which may not be what you as a spiritual man would want, but it's all that we have, and that's what we work with. So it is imperative to keep you guys stable and understanding and know yourself. So this subject of being black and British, it's simply that you are geographically in this place. You claim your passport, and after they got rid of Shamima Begum's citizenship, they can get rid of ours too. But you claim that, and you use that foundation to build yourself. But you know, I spend a lot of time with young black men, and first of all, most of them don't understand your importance in the world. You are Alpha and Omega. And I spent, when I had my daughter, 4 months in the British Library in the Jewish section. Now you have no idea what it's like to get into there because most black people will never get to go in there. Security, this, background check. And I read the Kabbalah and the Torah. I read both of them. We are there. We are the Enoch and the Moseses. It is us that God is talking about.
The Black Madonna.
Right. And
it all goes in hand because when you got basically the reason why you see like white Jews link up with the crusading Christians, remember like Jews in the Kabbalah, they say that Jesus is burning in excrement, they disrespect Jesus completely. So you wonder like what the connection between these two people is. But it goes back to Ethiopia. Basically, all of the Philistine Jews are the oldest the oldest illustrated Bibles in Ethiopia. Do you know what I'm saying? So what it is if they're gonna have a legitimacy to the claim of being a Jew, right, and the Jews being white, they had to take away the images of the oldest Bible, which is black. Jesus is depicted as black. So they had to. So basically, even though they hate each other ideologically, they both justify each other's existence. So how can I say I'm a white Jew if Jesus doesn't have a white picture? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because Jesus was a Jew,
But what is important about that is what you said earlier on. About Obia and thing.
Our magic.
Okay, let me just break it down just real quickly.
You've got 1 minute.
1 minute, I'm going to give it to you. Voodoo is Judaism. It's from the book of the Kabbalah. We historically was linked to our God. Voodooism is basically that Bible that God said that man should not follow without proper teachings. Hence the Ethiopian priests. Because to be able to follow the book of the Kabbalah and the magical incantations, you are able to draw from the heavens and from the earth. People think that these pyramids just flew up accidentally by some white Egyptian. Your knowledge base and your ability to tap in. So let me tell you something, because I have seen what I'm talking to you about. When I was in this library, I was pregnant with my daughter, and this Jewish head of whatever he was came up and said to me, "You can't read that, you are with child. If you read it, so shall you bring forth." And I was just like, it can't be that bad. You know, like, I'm just learning. But they were so anti me being there. So I used to turn up every day. I was just in awe. But you know one thing I learned, you know, when they talk about the living dead and the movement, in Judaism, the high order of priests, if you murder a Jew, the priest can bring back their spirit temporarily to tell you who killed them. The book of the Kabbalah, this is where, you know, you talk about, you know, the mummies and stuff. That is where it comes from. So these things were given to us. They were part of our narrative and beings, which you still have inside of you now. And every so often you invoke it. I'll give you a quick base example. You might see a brother. You get a feeling. You get a feeling for him. Twitch. When I like you.
Spirit.
It's that essence in you that is to talk to you.
You don't need to go to Egypt. That's what you are. Just go to Africa.
And everyone else. Maybe the session Thursday has to continue.
How can we need to? How do we get people?
We was close to this being the very last discussion Thursday.
Can I leave you one thing?
This last like 5-10 minutes.
What, his bars?
No. Keep that in there. But end it on that. Oh, it's up to Russ, isn't it?
No, I don't want still, but obviously political still the right company.
I don't care.
It's not even about that. It's about, and it goes back to this year. We're in Britain regardless.
Yeah.
We're here.
They were knocking on Easy's door, no, wasn't it? I don't give a damn.
They might knock on my they've been trying to do that to me, but can I go around the room and get one word for this session? What this session has done for one night? Just one word. How we would encapsulate this session in one word?
Part 2.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah, we gotta do this again. We gotta do this again, right?
Yeah.
But with sorry.
That's not one word.
Just
even part 2, that was enlightening.
To be TBC.
Powers.
That's still 3 words to be continued.
Insightful.
Interesting.
Snack.
Huh?
Snack is a snack.
Snack.
Light, isn't it?
I'll say it in a sec. I'm still thinking.
Okay. Yeah, for me it was powerful as well. Powerful is my word. It was powerful.
You're doing big things, man. I enjoyed it.
I'll just say it in light.
I appreciate everyone for coming, man. I know that end of the year, no one ever really wants to come out the house. It's cold, it's rainy, boom. I understand. And I was skeptical about putting it on because we've not had one in a few months. The space has been difficult to get since lockdown, so that's what's been the barrier to sort of running it monthly like I ordinarily would. But we'll see how it goes in the new year, and I'll keep everyone updated and informed. And I appreciate everyone for coming, man. And just big up yourself, man. Get home safe.
Any topic about health as well?
No, you gotta come down and run something on health. So I'll facilitate the space, and then it's your space to.
I think this space is nice.
This is a nice space.
It's tucked away. It's quiet. It's healing.
It is a healing space.
And they do massage as well.
Yeah. The room is quite just a healing. I like the bricks, but the brickwork. I don't know. It makes it natural. It's something natural about it. It makes it. But now I'll facilitate a space for you to come and do something.
Anytime, man.
Anyone who's a specialist in anything, like Susan, you can come. Like anyone who, do you know what I mean?
Actually,
you with a metaphysics.
I'm a specialist in construction management as it goes. My background's building.
Do you know what? That's
Someone talking about construction.
Yeah, that's the industry I want to get into because of medicine.
Yeah.
things.
He's like a god.
For the flush.
Plumber?
No.
Yeah. Alright, man. Pick up everybody.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. I had this at the studio. It will help improve, lead to discussions into the next round.
When someone FaceTime, we sometimes don't
Yeah,
know.
let me know what you
Give it a little
Too much, man.
it's like quiet.
I